Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This guy's a legend. Now, he wouldn't say that, but I'm going to say it for him.
I'll say it too, that he is a legend.
Yeah, he's been on our show many, many times, and we always get not just one thing or 10 things. We get hundreds of great little nuggets of wisdom, and he's the author of Wisdom Hunter's Devotional. He's got so many, and he loves building tree houses. So if you need a tree house built, Rita will let him go for you.
I'm putting him on the list. I want one.
Yeah. Boyd Bailey. How are you, buddy?
Hey guys, I've never had a bad time with you two. It's always a joy. I'm energized. You always inspire me to be more like Jesus. So that's fun.
If I remember right, you wrote a devotional about Jesus, and I guess we were the inspiration of that, right? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I forgot to dedicate the book to you. Yeah.
If you want to learn how to be more like Jesus, hang around Dan and Rick. They will force you to be that way.
You know, if we had $1 for every time somebody was going to put us in their book or their movie or their song or what, Dan, we'd be on the beach.
We would be. Like
There he is.
A real beach.
Yeah. We love this guy. We love talking to him. He's got a new book coming out. It's not out yet. It's called The Spiritual Life of a Leader. Perfect timing for that. Wow. But I do want to ask you first, Boyd, are you still the CEO and co-founder of Ministry Ventures?
No, we actually merged with another ministry called Mission Increase.
Okay.
And I'm actually serving at the National Christian Foundation now.
Okay.
So I've been there about 5 years. And hey, can I give just a little bit of levity before we jump in here?
Sure.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I think I told you, you remember the 4 types of people that will be coming out of the pandemic. That will either be a hunk, a chunk, a drunk, or a monk.
Yeah.
So I'm aspiring for 2 of those.
Yeah. Can you combine 2? I mean, can you be like a hunky chunk? That would be fun. Or a chunky hunk.
I thought you were going to let us guess which 2.
No.
A drunk monk? No.
That is funny. I do remember you saying that. That's very, very
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, I know that you're getting ready to get your COVID shot, which is awesome. So we're excited about that because we need you out there mingling with people because you just minister to people so much. The reason why I brought that up, I was reading some stuff on you and that, you know, you had trained and mentored, ministries, just helping them with their boards and their models, et cetera. You know, at this time where churches, the attendance has been not what it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
A lot of streaming going on, habits broken. I think a lot of it's habit myself personally. That's just a personal observation where people are just not, getting back there. So what would you say to a leader, a pastor, a leader of a church that's like, I don't know what to do, Boyd. What do I do?
Yeah, that's a great question. I had our pastor at our house 2 Fridays ago, and we were talking about that. And it really is a reset on, there's nothing wrong with habit. Habit's good, but there's a higher calling, right, than habit. And that is really out of passion and love and devotion that we're worshiping the Lord and we're wanting to be in community with other Christians. And I think it's a reset for us to remember what is most important. It's relationship with the Lord and relationship with each other. And programs are fine, and I'm all for programs. But if we get so busy with programs and we miss the priority, then I think the enemy loves that we're busy doing stuff and we're missing out the greatest command, which is to love God and love each other. And so I think this is a great reset for us to refocus on what is the calling of the body of Christ, what is the purpose of the church, and how can we be better, coming out of this.
Now, Boyd, tell us about the new book. It's coming out. You said it's coming out in the summer, so we want a sneak peek. We want the insider info about this new book.
Give us the last sentence of the book.
Rick, you're like me. You like to read the last sentence and then go back and read the whole thing.
Go and sin no more. There you go.
Is there another one that we could use instead of that one?
Well, I'll tell you 3 heroes that actually illustrate the book for me. And first of all, let me just say, when I talk about a spiritual leader, I'm not talking about this holier than thou, judgmental person that's so moralistic. And, if you could really reach my level, you'd be spiritual. I'm not talking about that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about the person that's got this sentimental, Christianese that's always throwing the Lord's name around like it's chocolate or like it's sports or something. And so I'm not talking about those 2 extremes, the sentimental and the holier than thou. I'm actually talking about somebody that loves Jesus with all their being. And because of that, he loves them in a beautiful, wholesome, healthy way. And out of the overflow of that relationship, they're loving people. And so that's the definition of spiritual leader. It's actually allowed me to combine 2 of my passions, which is my love for leaders and my love for the Lord, and kind of grow those together. And what does that look like? And the 3 heroes I just wanted to mention that I think illustrate this beautiful balance of staying in our knees in prayer on dependence on God, but also expressing that in serving and loving others. So Benjamin Wills, 5 years ago, actually he started Peace Prep about 7 years ago. I met him 5 years ago. He's in the worst zip code in Atlanta. And they're adding a grade every year. And these are children that would not even go to school if it wasn't for his Christian school there. Chick-fil-A's helped him, the National Christian Foundation. We've been able to introduce him to some people. And so to me, he's on the front lines. He's loving children. He's loving families. He's also created affordable housing for these families and for these teachers. So he's under the radar. I bet you haven't heard of Benjamin Wills in Peace Prep. But if there's any businesses out there or churches or organizations that want to partner with somebody that's making a difference, he is a spiritual leader that we should support. The second person is Rachel Brown with Be Still Ministry. She's been serving the widows of the first responders. She's been doing retreats and providing support, emotional and biblical resources to these widows out there that have lost their spouses through the pandemic. And so Rita and I have known Rachel and her husband Rod for, 10 years now. And she's been widowed twice herself, 40 years old.
Yeah.
We love Rachel.
She's on our show.
Of course, I joke with Rod, you're a brave man. You're
that was Boyd Bailey, everyone. That was Boyd Bailey.
And the last hero I want to mention that to me represents the spiritual leadership. My wife, Rita, serves on the Hello Hope board.
Mm-hmm.
And this couple serves parents who have children, young children under 5 or under 10 that are experiencing terminal disease. And they're in the hospitals providing emotional support, food. I mean, Rita was just telling me this morning, they had a board call last night, how that the parents are just so exhausted and they're just tired of the hospital food, just bringing them a Chick-fil-A sandwich, just giving them their parking ticket and say, you're covered. We've covered your parking costs. So to me, those are the spiritual leaders that I'm talking about in this book. It's people that balance their love for Jesus with their love for people, and one's an outflow of the other.
Those Hello Hope folks are wonderful as well. We've talked to them a while back, and great folks. And what they do is just so, like you said, it's kind of under the radar, but it's something that is just so needed and just ministers to people in a great way. So we appreciate them as well.
Yeah, we need to actually get those guys on. I have lost their contact information, so I'll get it from Boyd when we get off. Yeah, they were on a few times, and just humble. I'm going to call them kids. I mean, they are much younger than I.
To us, they are kids. Yeah.
Yeah. But what a passion, and how practically they just walk out the gospel, the love and grace of God. Yep. Jesus, man. Beautiful. And Rachel Brown, my gracious, she's a stick pulled out of the fire, that girl.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she preaches every time she's on. Dan and I just say, it's Rachel, and then we sit back, and then she just goes.
Turn her loose.
Yeah. And we'd like to get, would you say Ben Wills? We'd like to get, connected with him and hear his his story. Let's do this here. I just saw, Dan, did you see that comment
Yes.
from Ruth Mahatra? She is a sweetheart. We love her to
We
pieces.
love Ruth. Yep.
Says, so grateful for Boyd Bailey's faithful example and profound insights.
And when that comes from Ruth, you know that you are something.
Ruth, I'll get your check in the mail. Thank you.
Ruth, we haven't seen ours yet, so I wouldn't expect. Anyway, Boyd Bailey, we love talking to Boyd, and not only is he fun, but he brings just so much to the table, and vice versa. I mean, he's just amazing. The spiritual life of a leader. And when you put this together, now it'll be coming out, would you say, in June or in the summer?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want, folks? I mean, this whole, and we talked a little bit about this with the pandemic, this whole challenging being leaders has shifted, and some have been shaken, and we've all been shaken in some form or fashion. And I think you were right on the money with what you said. I think it's been a reset. And I think that, hey, I'm done with programs. My God, it takes too much work to do programs. Mm-hmm. We really do need to just love people and tell them about Jesus. But then the leader, what are they going to get out of this? What do you want them to walk away with after they've read it?
Yeah, the big piece for me, and again, I need this myself. The big application of this book is I don't trust myself by myself. You know, I'm better together with you. And so what I'm challenging all of us to think about is, who am I in community with that I can truly say out loud my pain or my fears or my challenges or my temptations? Because when I say it out loud, it's not concealed anymore. It's revealed. You know, the scriptures talk about, if I conceal my sin, then that can lead to destruction. But if I reveal and confess my sin, then I can be healed, is what James says. And so the big aha that I'm gaining out of writing this book is the reminder of the early church. The early church was known for hospitality and love. Those were the two characteristics. Mm-hmm. Josephus and these ancient writers, you know, they would say, I can't believe how these Christians love and how they invite you into their home, even if they don't even know you, and they love you at the point that you need to be loved. And so, of course, the pandemic has limited that. So we've had to get creative. And I've still enjoyed my son-in-law's Zoom call, but I've also had this whole past year, 4 other guys in their 30s. And then I just started 5 guys in their 20s. So I call the 5 guys in their 20s the wise lads, and the 4 guys in their 30s are the wise guys.
The wise guys.
And then the son-in-laws are the wise sons. But guys, just talking, and we answer 3 questions in all 3 of these groups. What's God teaching you? What are you learning from your family? And what is your biggest challenge at work that we can pray for you? And so seeing these guys get honest, even on Zoom, which is phenomenal. It says a lot about their generation. I think their generation is much more vulnerable and open than my generation. And guys, so I'll give you this is a bonus. Doesn't cost you any extra. So just recently on one of these calls, one of the guys was so emotionally vulnerable about being stuck in his marriage relationship. And none of the guys tried to fix him on the Zoom. You know, they were all empathetic. They all listened. They all kind of comforted him.
Which all women listening right now are going, what? Where is this man? He didn't try to fix it?
So then a few days later, we all talked about, do you have another couple that you can just talk about where you're stuck? You know, it could be somebody that's 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. It could be a professional. But there's just something about saying, and so the wife of this man is an extreme introvert. He's an extreme extrovert. Well, introverts don't want to talk about their problems.
Right.
Extroverts don't have any problems, right?
Yeah.
But by having that objective, loving couple, for them just to say out loud, you hurt my feelings when, here's what I'm exhausted. I need you to help me with the kids here. You know, just saying it out loud helps us realize we're not alone. there's no temptation such as common to man, right? The old King James Version. We're all tempted in the same way. We all have the same struggles. And the enemy, especially during this pandemic, the enemy is trying to get us to think we have to live in isolation, that God and us is a majority. And that's just not good theology. It's God and us and each other. That is how we get through things like this past year and just life as we go forward.
That is so good, isn't it? Hey, I wrote a couple of these things down. I'm better together with you, I think, is something that I'm going to write it in my Bible. I still have a Bible you have to look at and pick up because I like that. That makes me feel good.
Yes.
But I'm going to write it in there because that's gold right there. Boyd Bailey, author of the Wisdom Hunters devotion. He's got so many and they're all good. And you can go to the website too, because he puts fresh stuff up there as well. Wisdomhunters.com, ncfgiving.com as well. Boyd, we got to go to a break here in a second. We appreciate you so much. You put your money where your mouth is. You walk and I mean, you're fun to be with. You give us some great nuggets, but you also walk it out. You're the real deal, and we appreciate you doing that. And blessings to Rita. And we pray for her. Oh, she needs a lot of prayer being married to. No, we pray for you guys and your daughters with their husbands as well. Bless you so much.
Enjoy your tree house, and we know it's just for the grandkids, but enjoy your tree house.
Hey, and let's get back together after you release the book, and we'll talk more about that.
Oh, sounds great, guys. Always just a fun time to be with you too, and blessings on you and on our listeners.
Thank you so much. Boyd Bailey, check it out. Again, Dan will put the website up there. It is wisdomhunters.com and ncfgiving.com. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.